Welcome to Mercado Podcast. I'm Ryan Gander. In collaboration with PNT, each episode brings you conversations with some of the most inspiring voices in creative industry. Make sure to follow and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Today I'm with one of the most inspiring creators of the contemporary art world, Ryan Gander, and he's here in Istanbul for his first solo show in the city, Pussies and Places. It's on view at Pilevneli today, which we are now in. I'm really excited about this interview. I'm going to ask so much about your work and your creative process, actually. First of all, I would like to thank you for participating. Thank you. And welcome to Istanbul, of course. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I think it's your first time here, right, in Istanbul?
It's my first time yet. Never been here before.
Yeah. Hope you come here more often. Hope it's inspiring for you.
It is, me too.
Catching up with your work, and also in the space, the cats are very characteristic. And also Istanbul is known for the cats. So as I was following you on Instagram, saw lots of cat shots.
Yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed with cats at the moment. Well, actually, I've been obsessed with cats for a long time. I make quite a lot of works that are about cats or use cats.
Yeah. They really have something mystical that you cannot understand quickly, so it keeps the curiosity alive. Yeah, we can start from the very beginning. What was the first creative field, creative work that inspired you?
The first creative work that inspired me. It sounds strange, but I didn't become an artist because of art.
Yeah, that's the best answer I could get, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I didn't become an artist because of art. I became an artist because I think there's different things that artists do that I found I was naturally quite good at. And most people think that artists are good at drawing, painting, sculpting. These things are nothing to do with art. They're obsolete skills. They're like hobby things. They're nothing to do with art at all. Because art really is cognitive, it's brain work, it's not work for the eyes. So the skill of drawing is of no use to anybody. It's enjoyable. I love drawing, but it's not a skill that you need to be an artist, a good artist. It's something different. So the skills that I realized I was quite good at that would lead me to be an artist are just things like attention to detail. So the skills that I realized I was quite good at that do lead you to being an artist, and that's why I became an artist. And those skills, I think, are things like the ability to use your imagination, to envisage things that aren't there and see them in your mind's eye like they're really, really, really real. Another skill is the ability to organize people for a common good, to bring people together with an objective in mind, and to fill people with energy to do that task. And another good skill for an artist is to be intrigued by difference and information. We come into a gallery and we see things and we read it, we interpret what we see, but then we go outside into the world and our minds turn off. We don't read the things and we don't interpret anything. But the world outside is way better than the world in here. It's full of meaning and full of mystery and full of intrigue and interest. So that attention to detail, pattern recognition, being able to identify associations and collisions between disparate things and the meanings between things. These are the skills of an artist, not drawing.
Yeah. And not more pleasing to eye, but challenging to brain, actually.
Yeah.
And you studied in a field that is really compatible with this thought, right? Not just fine arts.
I went to art school, but I wasn't making anything like the other people on the course. I wasn't making art really. I was making other things. So yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I applied to lots of very famous art schools in London, but I didn't get an interview at any of them. So I couldn't go to any of the good art schools. I went to the normal local university in Manchester because there was space. Yeah, I mean, that says quite a lot, I guess, about even at the highest level at famous art schools in London, the people there, the institution, identifies as contemporary or identifies as art. You know, we still hold on to so many like strange stereotypes associated with art, but art can be anything at all. Art could be the invention of a word, or it could be a rumor, it could be a whisper, it could be a uniform for a McDonald's drive-through attendant, it could be a ballet by scarecrows, it could be a menu for a restaurant, you know, it could be a hat.
Yeah,
It can be literally anything.
totally. One thing it couldn't be is defying that much, actually, being defined.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the one thing it can't be, is defined. And I think that, you know, I love that about art. I love the fact that, I mean, I realize I'm really, really lucky because I get to wake up every day and do something completely different, which is crazy. That's such an amazing position to be in, you know. And yeah, that kind of difference should be echoed in the way artists make work and jump from one idea to the next.
With your exhibitions and your artworks, you're really committed into that connection between your artworks and the viewers, actually, their feedbacks and their...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, completely. I guess the difference that I see, it's not a strategy. I haven't planned it this way, but the difference that I now see between the artworks and art projects that I make and the artworks and art projects that a lot of other people make is a lot of artists make work that is a relationship between the artwork and themselves, their own identity, which is kind of, for me, is very narrow and limiting and not inclusive at all. And yeah, I guess when I look at all the projects I've done, the relationship isn't between me and the artwork. It's between the artwork and the spectator, the visitor, the viewer. And yeah, I truly believe that the more interpretations that people pull from one artwork, the better the artwork is. So if there's an artwork and everybody thinks the same thing about it, if they all interpret it in the same way, for me, that's not even art. That's communication. Art is about miscommunication. I think art is about difference. It's about feeling uncomfortable, not feeling comfortable. It's about being challenged, and it's about not feeling safe. It's about being confronted with things you don't understand and trying to make meaning from them. Art should be difficult. It shouldn't please people. It should be challenging, I think.
When I was listening to you, I just thought about that you see the outside of the art gallery or museum as more values place to gather information and give your attention to, rather than the inside of it, as it is richer. So your work here inside the gallery actually looks like an exercise for the viewers to look better, look broader to the outside world.
Yeah. It looks like it's an instruction to send people back out into the city to be aware of their surroundings. And it tells them that the world outside this space is way more important than what happens in the art world.
Yeah, because there are a lot of things that you should notice about your works. It's not always out there and showing itself. It needs visitors to look closely, look carefully and see it and get something from it. Like you're working right now, Borsta Commerce, the little mice coming in from a valve named I. And we really actually experienced that work, and it really moves people when it's and you get it. Yeah. And can you talk about that work as an example of your creative process? Like,
I don't think I can talk about any individual work as an example of my creative process, because my creative process keeps changing. But I can talk about why I think that work is good, why it works. I mean, half the work I make is not good. It's shit, and it goes in the bin. And I think that's really important. If I just made great work that I thought was great the whole time, then I wouldn't be learning anything. So it's important to understand that half of the stuff I make is terrible, That's what it is to be an artist and to practice, to make mistakes and learn things. So, but the mouse, the one that you're talking about, I do think is a successful work. I think it functions as an artwork really, really well. And the reason I think it functions well is because we're in this world, right, where everyone's shouting at us and everyone wants our attention. Advertising, social media, people, the artworks, you know. And there's a bit of an epidemic at the moment of artworks that are huge and very colourful and very noisy and flashy and bright and shiny. And that's because we have an attention famine in the attention economy that exists now, which is worth more than money. Our attention is worth more than money because of social media. People think by shouting louder and louder, they will get more attention. I look at Donald Trump, for example. This is not true because we're all become immune to noise. We know that loud things have nothing to say. That's why they're loud. And I was thinking about this idea and I thought I need to make something that is tiny, the smallest artwork I can think of. And I need to put it low down so the spectator has to kneel on their knees. And I need to make it very quiet so they have to listen. And I need to make it something that is incredibly cute, but also vulnerable so that people feel empathy for it. So you feel like you need to take care of this thing and that it is precious to you and that you're responsible for it. And I thought that would be the way to achieve the perfect format or device for messaging. It's the difference between someone giving you something on a silver tray or someone saying that they've got something in their pocket and they're not going to show you. The thing you want to see is in the pocket. So it works on the exhibition device of the whole family of mice because there's lots of different texts that I've written for different mice. That's all based on that idea of the tranquil force and that the loudest voice is not the voice that people listen to.
Yeah. I think the answer to this question is like a great piece of information that everyone should get because we live in that attention economy and attention famine is real. That's a great definition, by the way. Thank you for mentioning those things, everything coming out from this single work. But I think it's really great balance. The work has a great balance at saying all of these things for you. And I just wanted to ask specifically because it personally moved me. Thank you. If you come here today, you have a solo exhibition, first time in Istanbul, and in Pussies and Places in this exhibition. What are you exhibiting actually?
What am I exhibiting? So the show consists of lots of artworks, but 3 main series or ideas. So there's a big installation downstairs with an animatronic magpie, which in British culture is a superstitious bird that steals shiny things. So it's a capitalist in a way. And the text that I've written for the bird to speak, it's hidden in the roof in an office ceiling. And the text that I've written for the bird to speak is in the style of an ancient fable with like the Brothers Grimm or a story by Oscar Wilde. So it has a maxim or a moral at the end of it. And it's about greed. It's about overconsumption, the story. But you need to spend time with it and listen to the story. It's a story that I thought my dad had told me when I was a child. And I wrote it down and then gave it to my dad. And he told me he'd never told me this story. So I have this story in my mind and it doesn't exist on the internet. I don't know where this tale comes from, but I have it in my mind from somewhere, from my childhood. And I don't know. I mean, I think I probably dreamt it, but anyway. And then the other 2 series of works are paintings, which is very funny because I'm obviously not a painter and I actually quite dislike painting as a medium. So it's quite a challenge for me to make paintings, but they're conceptual paintings. So they're kind of like, they're paintings that I've made, but they're paintings that they're not of one image. The visitor will imagine an image in their head. So every painting is thousands and thousands of paintings. So they're more like prompts or catalysts for you to imagine a place or a landscape. So in the realms of conceptual art or ideas-based art, they're the perfect landscape painting because they are everything and nothing at the same time. And then the third work are sculptures, and they're marble sculptures of cats, which sounds very simple. And it is very, very, very simple in its physicality. It's very incredibly complex in its meaning for many reasons. And the meaning of the cats change due to context a lot. For me, the cats are the best work. Well, no, actually, I don't know. I like the cats because they're the newest thing. And I like the cats because I like minimalism and simplicity. And I like ideas that are eloquent and very efficient, ones that. So, like the idea of a poem is a poem could be represented by a whole book, but the book has been condensed and into the most efficient form. And the cats feel like that to me. A lot of meaning really concentrated, not diluted into very small things.
And the exhibition will be open till December 13th in Pilevneli, right?
Yeah, that is on for quite a while, I think. Yeah, it's nice to see it. It's funny when you make an exhibition on a plan and then you see it in real. It's like a completely different experience. And I just realized when we were talking, I just realized something about the cats, which is that I didn't think of before. I didn't assume, but traditionally, when you make an exhibition, you place art, curating, and sculptures go usually in very specific places based on the fact that we identify them as art. But what's nice about this, the structure or the composition of the sculptures in this space is I've not placed them based on the fact that these are sculptures. They're not conventional signs in semiotics. I've placed them based on them being natural signs. I've placed them like they're cats, which is funny because you don't get that a lot in art galleries. You don't get natural signs. You only get things that look like sculptures, paintings that have intent, that you get conventional signs. But cats are obviously natural signs. I mean, this gallery obviously has a cat that comes and walks around. And it does something different to the space. It makes the space feel domestic. It reduces the institutionality of the space, makes it very familiar, makes it like a public space, not a private space. And it makes it very informal and unofficial. And, when we think about the cats in a place, I love cats because they're interpreted by different cultures in so many ways. So in one culture, a cat would talk about fertility. In another culture, it's lucky. In another culture, it's unlucky. In another culture, it's about maternity. In another culture, it's a vagrant. It's feral. It's dirty. It's full of disease. In another one, it's kawaii. In Japan, it's cute. The cat, the signifier, the semiotic signifier of the cat is the animal that has been the most distributed through memes and social media. It's the most printed thing on t-shirts and sweatshirts. So, when you think about a cat, it's not an icon with one meaning. It's an icon with loads of different meanings that mean different things to different people. So what's great about the cat is it's a very known, almost cliche, stereotypical icon, the iconography, the symbol of it. But it means something completely different to everyone.
And so does this exhibition. If you want to move this exhibition to another country, it would totally mean something different.
The perfect exhibition. Yeah. When meaning that
definition of perfect
absolutely, yeah. That is the perfect definition, yeah. if an exhibition changes meaning as the context changes around it, then it's the perfect exhibition. I think the worst exhibitions are one that have a set meaning that the artist wanted, and everyone tells each other that's what it means. There's no joy for the brain in that type of exhibition.
Yeah. By the way, as we talk, Istanbul is making a show that it has several layers of culture. First, we started hearing ezan, and now we're hearing Dari bells from the church.
Yeah.
And the cats approve your exhibition, your positioning of the statues, the local cats. So, yeah, really started to interact with the city.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm really glad meeting you and doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.